The exhausted strength, the zombies from the 4 directions of the 8 directions rushed to surround me. I saw a girl pushing me down to succeed in the car, seeing them carrying materials and driving successfully. It was my teammate, more sadly that the girl put me in that dangerous situation just saved a life yesterday. Feeling of painfulness, I regret. I should have come home, should not choose to celebrate Tet alone to avoid the parents' matches and words. If possible, from the beginning. The next second, I suddenly woke up, realizing that I was lying in bed in the rented room. Listening carefully, you can hear the sound of children playing below. I was excited to crawl up the window, without zombies, no monsters to eat people. It turned out to be just a dream, fortunately, but just a dream. But this dream was really true, even I remember the pain of being bitten. On the phone are notifications of greetings and holidays. On December 24, 2023, today is Christmas Eve, e-commerce sites also launched many promotions. As soon as I thought everything was just a dream, Weibo suddenly exploded. A famous star publicly declared his lover, Weibo collapsed, online filled with crying of crazy fans. Seeing this scene, I feel cold. Turns out everything is true. Bad news is that the apocalypse really comes, only 45 days to New Year's Eve. Good news is that I was reborn. The end of the world has come. If it is you, what will you do? Surely you will say, definitely accumulating goods and shopping, but often ignoring the most important, and money. Ordinary people do not have so much money. I quickly applied for a loan with a maximum limit on the loan platform. As a university graduate office worker who has worked for 5 years, I searched all the bank cards and my savings only was about 150 million. This money is also I saved to buy a car. Anyway, my current car is just an old Wuling, going out to look not beautiful, unexpectedly now becomes my best life protection. My house is in a small district of S province, L. This district is crowded. In the past few years, I have encountered a good policy. A small district has developed like sitting on a high-speed train. If it was before, I would definitely be happy, but this is the end of the world. The more people the more dangerous. If at that time, with just a weak body of a bad health girl as I added plus my parents were over 50, it was not enough to cope. No, small districts are not safe. Of course, the apartment I rent is even more safe. Thinking about it again, I still had to go to a place with fewer people. For example, my hometown, a remote small village where my father grew up in the city of L. The virus in the previous life comes from a meteor shower on New Year's Eve. At that time, I just thought that rain the tape in the new year is so romantic, but who doubted brought a serious disaster. I quickly called my parents, told them to make more sausages and bacon, because these things were easy to preserve. But in order not to make them worried, I made up a story, saying that my colleague liked this food. After that, the company decided to order a large order from us, because this would be broadcast as a year-end gift, so the number is also quite large. I told them that they could cooperate with the boss GI. My parents heard that it could help me to agree happily. I immediately transferred them 20 million as a deposit. Anyway, the act of acting must perform for the shoulder. For better storage, I require all vacuum suction, every 5 kilograms packed a bag. It is coincidentally that the owner of the meat seller has these machines. Near the Tet holiday receives such a large order, the boss happily promises to complete and pack within half a month. My parents were busy, I also had to act quickly. First, I applied to quit my job at the company pretended to keep my foot a bit and agreed. Without one person, the end of the year will be less rewarded, surely the boss is also very happy. The next day, 44 days left until zombie outbreak. This morning I drove my small car to a construction materials store, contacting a construction team. I also have a bit of self-interest. This construction team is not our local team, near Tet. They are not planning to accept the job, but because I begged forever, they decided to go to the home in my hometown. Uncle, looking at this is the house I plan to renovate. This house is my father to build in 2018, how do you see the foundation and walls? A few years ago, there was a prevailing movement to build a small house. At that time my father quarreled with my mother to build this house. After that, we could not argue with him, finally unanimously built. That's why I rented a house, not buying a house. But unexpectedly, this house has become the most dependent place, our safe shelter on the end of the world. The girl, I said, you like this house is located in the middle of the hillside, there is no neighbor around. The house is not old, really does not need to renovate. If you change the bulletproof glass, add steel mesh, build a wall up to your disposal, it is like a fortress. The building leader seemed confusing, but his words also reminded me of the light. In the previous life, on Saturday after the end of the world broke out, the electricity was cut. I also need solar power generation equipment, and I have to buy some backup generators. I don't know how long the end of the world will last, because in my previous life I only lived for half a month. Uncle, telling the truth to you, this house I am not going to stay. He also saw that, where we were beautiful and charming, there was a tourist resort in the mountain, each summer had art students coming to paint. Building this is to open a escape game room, now this is very hot. In the summer we are all young guests, now people like thrills. I see, doing a horror topic is good, glasses and things are also to prevent accidents, because there are many people who like to use violence. Thanks to the television programs. So that's the way, still young people know how to play, so I don't talk much anymore. This house uses quite good materials when building, looking at the foundation of all greenstone, bricks are also solid bricks, the house does not need to reinforce, only the next house needs to be rebuilt. If you want to raise the fish, this wall is too thin, unbearable, and this side. Finally, planning my original idea, the entire window and doors will be replaced, the storage room will be dismantled and widened. On it, building a super large water tank, the tank is divided into two parts, containing water and raising fish does not affect each other. There is also a roof that can be lifted and lowered, later it can be made into a hiding place. The surrounding walls are also reinforced and enhanced, and there are iron fences. When building a storage room, our opinion is not consistent. Construction contractor said that it should be built at an empty land next to it, later he could disguise into an independent ghost house, and I resolutely keep the old place and reinforce. In the end, I could not argue back to me, the construction contract was still at my request. After the discussion, I paid 300 million deposits in advance. Because I construction on the mountain, the construction time was relatively urgent, so the price was a bit higher than usual. I skillfully giving the bid to build 2 cigarettes, he confidently promised to complete within 15 days. I left the key to him, then drove a small car back to his rented house. Except for 4 days in the mountain, 40 days to the end of the world, the time for me is getting less and less. The next morning, I went down to eat a dumpling, then drove to the company to hand over the resignation. My colleagues asked me to quit my job for what, I said, preparing to open a small supermarket, already doing enough salary, wanting to be my own control. Some colleagues do not believe, saying that there are days off to help me. I can speak, free labor should not refuse. I know they just want to wait, but if they come, let them work. I am about to leave anyway, if I can remind them a little bit, I don't mind. Anyway, there is no deep hatred, can help. Returning from the company, I checked the remaining money in my hand. Subtracting 320,000 eliminated, more than 2,300,000, I was checking, there was an amount of 500,000 into the account. Due to the cumbersome bank loan procedure, I searched for private loans, high interest rates but money quickly. Anyway, the end of the world, until then, do not talk about repaying, not sure people survive. After checking the savings, I quickly contacted the manager to rent a temporary garage. So when shopping for materials we'll have a place to store temporarily, later I will slowly move, then it is much safer. After renting the garage, I went to the food wholesale market again. Thanks to the city I am living, there are many markets and transportation, I take the reason for opening a small supermarket to import goods without attracting attention. 10 barrels of instant noodles each, 10 tanks, 20 hot pot tanks, and 10 boxes of boxes. Salt, sugar, pickles per type of barrel, biscuits, junk food, candy, chili oil, snail noodles, spicy sour noodles, all by 10 boxes. The owner of the store saw that my order, laughed, enthusiastically introducing chicken legs and spicy foods to sell. I did not refuse. Because they all bought in a box, the owner of the shippers is also easier to deliver. Finally calculating and subtracting the odd number for me, this time I buy more than 40,000. I gave the address to the owner, he guaranteed the afternoon to deliver the goods. Next I went to a few other suppliers, the goods were set according to the listed list. These houses I have deposited, appointment time delivery. After finishing these things, I went home to lie in bed thinking about what was done in the past few days. I added the calculation of notes in my phone, had a home, the food was also placed. In a few days, I would order an additional batch of rice, flour, cooking oil, and drinking water. Come to think of it, I suddenly sat up, weapons. I almost forgot, in China forbidden guns, but the end of the world was known. If there is a bad guy holding a plunder, we will become fat goats waiting for meat. Come to think of it, I quickly went online to order a few swords, and noted urgently, then ordered the bow and arrow, the D.A.O was short, and the renovated tools from other stores. These are all controlled items that cannot be purchased too much once, so I can only order from many different stores. The protection of life is as much as possible. I also went online to buy a few generators, write the address of my parents and my address. Only I cannot transport all these items, still have to do with my father. After finishing these things, I showered and lying on the bed, thinking that tomorrow I should still go back to my hometown. It's time to tell my parents. 39 days left until the end of the world. This morning I drove back to the countryside. On the way to Fall Gas, I discovered that I forgot to buy fuel. The generator uses diesel, it seems that I have to start storing a diesel oil first. When I got home, my parents were very surprised to see me returning, thinking that I came to get Tet. Parents, although the child is about to say very hard, but I have experienced it, so my parents have to believe in my words. Seeing my serious face, my parents also began to pay attention. Next I told the whole story from the zombie virus from the meteor shower, then the whole world collapsed, then I was eaten by zombies and was reborn before the virus broke out. First, parents are shocked by the terrible virus. When I heard that I was pushed away by others as a bait and died, my father's face was angry. For the first time this gentleman revealed his face to want GI. Dad, everything is over, this time we will definitely live better than others. I have renovated the house in the countryside. When the end of the world comes, we will go there to hide, wait until the virus ends and then go out. I quickly said my plan, pulling my father out of his emotions. Okay, just follow me. Well, where do you get money to fix the house? I borrowed from a small loan, after all, I didn't need to return it anyway. Seeing me bluntly talking about hiding in debt, my parents' faces were a bit surprised but did not blame me, but also said they would use their identity card to register a little more. So I started a loan plan again. With the participation of my parents, my plans to store goods are completed faster. The first is to buy food. My mother is much more professional than me. She made me a list, told me to order and also list the household appliances. In case of a power outage or something, my mother also bought a few honeycomb charcoal and 2 honeycomb charcoal cars, with smokeless carbon coal. Indeed, the older the ginger. The next day my father returned to his hometown. He understood that life in the countryside was much better than me. I told him about his solar power plan. He did not say anything to go home, saying that the house for him to take care of, my mother and children just focused on storing goods. Having supported my parents, I returned to the city again. This time I started buying rice and oil. At the same time, I also went to our city to place a batch of dry seafood. The address was my mother's house, because transportation would be more convenient. I also bought some common drugs, so as not to be suspected by others. I almost ran throughout the pharmacies in the 2 cities, personal ice, iodine, colds, vitamins, calcium tablets, patchouli water. Because near the Tet holiday, everyone stored goods, so my actions did not attract the attention of others. The blink of an eye has passed half a month. During this time, there was a colleague to visit my small supermarket. Because I rented 2 more garages, most of the goods they have not seen yet. There are also people in the apartment building to see. I said after Tet will open, until then there will be great promotions. When my colleague left, I gave her some bacon, and cleverly reminded her to store goods. Due to the influence of the pandemic 2 years ago, she did not think much. Just as I went to supplement the goods at the food market, she also bought a lot. Hopefully she can stand until the safety area is established. After all, she is one of the few people in her previous life remembering me after the disaster happened. Just do not know how long she last life she lived. There are 15 days left until the disaster broke out. Today, I received a phone call from my father. My hometown was completed, and I could transport goods there. I hung up the phone near like running downstairs. In my old small truck filled with diesel oil bought in the past half a month, along with dozens of short D.A.O I bought. If I was tested on the road, I would definitely be interrogated. I just thought miscellaneous and drove to my safe shelter. Safe shelter is located in the middle of the mountainside. When I arrived, the sun was about to set. The old man in the mountain greeted me, asking when to open. I said next year. Until then come and play. The old man rejected my invitation, going away and heard them say something ghosts, nothing good, refused to do business properly. I did not understand what they were saying. When I went to the mountain, I understood why the elderly refused so definitely, really beyond my imagination. The color of the outside wall seemed to have spent decades of rain and wind. The rose trees in the doors were also cut down, a few trees, scattered everywhere. The iron fence on the high wall that I was originally painted wooden color now turned to rust, and hanged a few birds who didn't know what species, like a deserted ghost house. Seeing me coming, my father quickly opened the door for me. Inside is much more normal. On the wall also poles electricity. All iron fences have electricity. Actually, when it was emergency, this was an electric wall, no one could enter. Inside, there is no need to say, everything is reinforced. Dad, where is the diesel oil? Follow your father. I saw him open the storage room, and opened another door. Oh, Dad, you cut the mountain. Inside is a cave. I don't know, my family still has a cave. This is the old place where my grandfather was in the resistance war. Looking at the cave, more than 100 square meters, I feel that if I can't live in such conditions, it is very sorry to heaven and earth. I have diesel oil and generator here, noise generators. A few days, my father and mother will wrap the outside sound, so as not to be heard by others. My father lit a cigarette, as if everything was under control. Next, we go to see where we will live in the future. The ground has 3 floors, each floor is about 150 square meters, there is a tunnel below, and does not know what to do. This tunnel goes straight from the kitchen to very convenient. The storage room has a small door that's straight into the house. In the middle of these rooms is very convenient. Most importantly, my father also expanded the toilet. This side often used the toilet to septic, maybe under the mountain has already been renovated, but in the mountain, we really have no strength. Initially, I planned to store a little cat hygiene. I did not expect my father to be so good. Tomorrow there will be someone to install the Pensola angels. Dad made the frame on the roof, even outside the wall. If later there was a real power outage, would not be afraid. Dad has bought 10 sets of batteries, waiting for the installation. He will go to buy more diesel oil. Who knows when the apocalypse is over. My father calculated everything. Tomorrow to rent a large car, carry goods and construction materials mixed, do not let others detect, must not be vigilant to others. It seems that my C.T. has made my father completely alert to human love. I understand, Dad and Dad are assured. Just when I go home tomorrow to get bacon, my father and mother supervise the solar panel. When there is electricity, we will rent a large car to carry the freezer and water ahead. Even the soundproofing. Until then the parents slowly arranged, I will transport goods. 14 days away from the pandemic day. Early in the morning I drove a new car to the countryside to get bacon. A total of more than 1,000 kilograms of bacon and sausages. I pay the remaining money, and buy an additional 50 kilograms of smoked pork ribs. Seeing me, the boss also gave a few packages of smoked pig ears and promised to find him next time. After that, I went to the electronics store, carrying 4 freezers and a refrigerator in advance. There was also an electric pan, rice cooker, induction cooker, and some cooking tools. Because before, it was the year-end gift of the company, the thoughtful boss attached red flowers, looks even more like Less than half of the blanks, I filled with sound. The reason is very reasonable, decorating the location of the activity, no one doubts. After carrying these things, I quickly unloaded. Fortunately, my father used to buy a small forklift from the repair team, otherwise so many items could be transferred. After finishing the goods, I quickly returned to the city to carry 100 pure water barrels into the car, carrying some more soundproof sheets, filling the remaining space with instant noodles, biscuits, and other goods, and drove safely again. When we arrived at the shelter, it was dark. After unloading and resting a bit, I had time to review the house safely. The solar panel has been installed. In addition, the water filtration device of the tank has also been completed. Because we were in the middle of the hillside, the tap water was not conducted at first. Previously we all used water from the stream to the mountain. There was a small stream not far from my house, located in the ravine. We had to use the bucket to scoop water up. If there is no end of the world, it takes only a few years to be planned into a tourist area. Not the other side of the mountain is an ecotourism area built for the past few years. The traffic here is a bit poor. The previous year was revised the road. Before Mr. Kwok also told his father to plan to come to this area, telling his father to go back to the motel. Don't think much more, just this area still see sometimes exploited, otherwise there is no place to hide anymore. Instead of thinking about the useless things, spending by him and I quickly spread the soundproof sheet. The whole wall of the warehouse had to spread, so that it did not have to tiptoe when taking things. My mother interrupted her father's thoughts, thinking that many were not helpful, doing well what was the most important in the immediate future. Help spread the soundproof sheet for a while. I started to turn up the floor to calculate the amount of existing goods. 1,000 kilograms bacon, this for 10 years has no problem for 10 years. Instant noodles and other goods bought in many places before. Eating a few years also did not matter. There are many types of rice, flour, cooking oil, only enough food for a family to eat about 10 years. Water is a bit missing, a few more days will go to get one more car. Pure water is only used for drinking and cooking, and domestic water has a tank. The tank has a capacity of up to 15 cubic meters, the broth is enough daily, otherwise there is another fish pond. The freezer has been transported. Tomorrow morning I will buy more chicken, duck, pork, beef, sheep to freeze, and also have to buy more eggs. I bought 5 industrial generators, 10 large batteries, plus solar panels. Even if there was a power outage, there was no need to worry about electricity. A 200-liter diesel oil bucket, during this time, has gradually poured 6 large boxes, with time to buy more. I also bought a lot of medicine, enough to use. Tomorrow I will buy a few more electric fans. When the weather is erratic, too hot cannot turn on the air conditioner, there is only a way to use the fan. Come to think of it, I also have to buy a few more heaters, clothes, warm blankets, pillows. Thinking of many things that were not yet prepared, I could not sleep. Open my phone, I still have 1 million. Previously, repairing my house only a deposit, the latter was paid by my parents. After that, I gradually spent more than 1,800,000, now there are 14 days until the end of the world, half a month in the world will fall into chaos. No, currently still not enough weapons. Previously I had finished renovating the sword and bow and arrow, but if there was a zombie, the arrow was not much enough, and far enough. Come to think of it, I bought a few hundred more arrows. Of course, bought from many different stores. Also filled out 10 addresses for the room to be discovered abnormally. 13 days left until the disaster broke out. Today I separated action. He drove a big car from my garage, and my mother and I went to buy a few dozen USB, asked the pickup full pickup and famous entertainment programs, and then bought 10 more computers, a few dozen mini surveillance cameras, of course bought from many different stores. Because the price is very good, the seller also quickly helps to download. After the timer takes the goods, we are constantly moving to the next location. The store specializes in selling camping, radio, signal receivers, outdoor survival protective costumes, even a light armor shop. Not this is the anti-zombie bite, buy T10 sets. In the new year, there are goods, then add 1,000 yuan each. Perhaps never seen anyone like me, the boss said 3 days later. Indeed, doing everything must have money. Next is winter clothes, summer, and pajamas, each type 30 sets, 50 boxes. Thick blankets, thin blankets, each buying 20 pieces, all vacuum suction. After that, I also bought some fire extinguishers, 5 fire axes, 10 electric sticks, toilet paper and sanitary pads as much as possible. After these things were full of cars, I took my computer again, finally going home safely. My father came back to me, he brought the items I bought before. In the dark, we moved one by one. Basement and first floor for freezer and drinking water, the entire third floor are the food items I bought. The glass door is glued against the visional film and has iron mesh, the inside also pulls thick curtains to almost not let outsiders look at. Looking up to the third floor, this is our survival resource on the end of the world. The second floor is the living area. When building a house, it has been designed into 3 bedrooms, now each person has a room, the rest of the office is my office. Dozens of security cameras will be installed in the corners to always monitor around. In order to avoid unused power outages, I bought all solar energy equipment, super long use time of up to 72 hours. If it rains heavily without sunlight, haha, it's okay. In order not to become a blind, the surrounding the house has double protection, directly connected to the reserve power source, ensuring that it can be monitored 24/24, no dead angle. The first floor has the largest space, used to store water, part of rice and noodles. Other heavy goods such as bacon, ham, partially divided into the first and part of the cave, because the cave is cooler. If there is a dangerous situation, the cave will be our last shelter. In the next few days, in addition to my return to the city to check and supplement goods, buy fuel, my parents are still in the mountains to install monitoring and camouflage systems for our safety home. The steel bars and cement bought more at-home repair are now effective. The main door has been reinforced by us, using steel to thicken, in the middle is still /G more steel pipes, the main door uses the double rail system on the bottom. Even the door lock is not a normal lock but a key lock, latching from the inside, plus 3 door bars. Even if there is a car, the car cannot be opened. Outside the main door is painted like a wall, on the side wall drawing a large door to deceive others. A pile of construction materials is randomly piled outside, viewed from the outside, like a spooky wild house. In the corner we also made a billboard, Ma House, escape room, expected to open in April 2024. The table is placed in the hidden corner, if someone comes, hope can deceive them. Anyway, a ghost house has not been built, usually there is no valuable item. 7 days left until the end of the world. When I continued to add goods, the suppliers were also used to their faces. Mr. Lee, his mineral water and soda water sells quite well, a few days added once. It is also temporary, also temporary. I talked to the boss a few sentences, and the other 2 juice water was put on the car. JJ, it is true that I still think wrong. Just look at the car already known as Lee J, anyway this car is old. Shortly after that, a shrill voice rang out. What a coincidence, who are these people? I saw a few people coming in, the first person to speak out as a colleague before I was the best, Chu Mua. The people behind one is Qin Yen that I don't like, the rest I don't know. This is the cousin of Qin Yen, Chuang Hui, and these people are friends of Chuang Hui. Chu Mu introduced each person. Li J, I thought she said that the grocery store was just joking, unexpectedly she really came to enter the goods. It seems that the business is not satisfactory, so far has not changed this old car. Qin Yen began to mock. At the same time Mumu was also in Giaho of Antuong, so she often came to support her a bit. She said and pointed to the girl behind. I often go shopping at RT supermarket, or delivery to your place, maybe I can't support it. She was talking when a girl came. Oh, unjustly narrow alley, the previous life girl pushed me for zombie to eat. Why do I see that Chuang Hui is quite familiar, this is my previous life my life teammate. Yet met here. Sorry, my small shop did not have enough room for the big Buddhas like girls. Anyway, the door was small, her noble body could not enter. Are you scolding someone fat? Whoever says, that person claims to himself. Make money, the boss, I go before. Not paying attention to Qin Yen's scolding, I calmly closed the trunk. Choo choo, my mother sent the bacon last time she asked to get it. Just when I met, I brought it home to bring it to you. Oh, that's right, my bacon. Qin, go to get bacon first, please visit, goodbye. After saying that, I quickly went to my old car. When the car was started, some people gradually were left behind. Choo choo, why are you going with them? Don't talk anymore. Before I said I wanted to come here to buy drinks, the result she wanted to come, and took a cousin who had to introduce me. It was so shy, speaking of which, Chu face unsightly, full of nonsense. Choo choo, you should stay away from them a bit, they are not good people. Mumu and Shuang Hui are blunt G-zone with me, every day sticking to each other, obviously there is a vague relationship. The man is not a good person, not knowing how many girls have taken home, Han has nothing, must definitely stay away a bit. Although I did not know what the other two had, but from the previous life was not a good person, so I did not hesitate to smear them. It was disgusting, I could not stand it anymore, I had to go back to wash and change clothes, the smell of trash. Chu Mu felt unstable. JJ, you just release me on the roadside, for a while I will take a taxi. Jomu understood that I wanted to help her escape the awkward situation, while leaving the market, and wanted to get off the car. I really have things to give to you, my home first, just when there is a good item you want to give you. I took Chumu to my rental apartment, gave her a few pounds of bacon and a sword. This is the D.A.O tree that my father has reinforced, D.A.O's tongue is also sharpened, hoping to be able to help her on the end of the world. JJ, why did you give me my knife, though very cool, but if you were discovered, it would be imprisoned. The error for a docile girl has never seen the weapon, this really scared her. Choo choo, heard me say this. Previously, I saw a post that was about to be apocalypse, then my friends abroad also said there was a strange virus, telling me to prepare soon. So I gave her this sword, as if buying peace of mind. Perhaps I said too seriously, Zhou Miao's face also became serious. I understand, JJ, I will come back to store goods, not out until going to work. Just at the time of Tet holiday, just leave everything naturally. Yes, rest, just rest. No more, you hurry up to store goods, tomorrow I have to go home, see you next year. I was laughed at by Chumu, really hoping to meet later. I went to send a few parcels to my relatives, it was also dark. Back to the apartment for rent, I started writing novels, posts, and articles about the end of the world. Of course, no one believed me, then I changed the achievement of the goods because of the disease, not beyond the prediction of the card lock, the reason was that the statement was not misleading, causing anxiety. After that, on the New Year's Eve we'll have an unprecedented meteor shower, recommend that residents in the home prevents epidemics, pay attention to safety. The news will broadcast meteor shower, hoping that residents will not gather, save first. It seems that the state had a feeling of precaution, but feared that they wanted to die, the more they didn't let them go out, so I posted some articles about the meteor shower that brought viruses, and I was still ridiculed as a joke. Stop, how to like it? 6 days left until the end of the world. Today my last package has come. I brought water and all the parcels that bought, left the city of L, returned to my safe shelter. All arrows need welding again and sharpen, so my father's welding machine started to work again. Once we have arranged all the materials, our first floor only remains the aisle. Other places are full of full quality, the third floor and the storage room are also tight. My mother soon reminded in the family group to store supplies because the epidemic broke out again. She also said she would come over to find me to celebrate Tet because I was not assured of me. Moreover, what I sent to them all recorded my rental address, they also advised us to store a lot to celebrate Tet. Today, the terrain I have arrived, this car has been readapted to the end of the world. I asked the reinforced and improved it, of course the car was purchased in the form of installments, collateral was my parents' home. I pay 30% of the money in advance, or 150,000, and spend an additional 50,000 to the degree. Just as the drone, Flycom, I bought also came, it was always possible to receive one. In the dark, I returned home safely. This time was midnight. I did not let anyone detect and unload the goods. The car is also put in the corner of the yard, covered with protective film, on it using hay and branches to disguise, even from the air cannot recognize this is a car. 4 days left until the end of the world. This morning, we locked the door safely and drove to the foot of the mountain to eat. When building a safe house, we often eat at a restaurant at the foot of the mountain. After eating, my father said goodbye to everyone in the mountain, and divided them with 2 cigarettes, thanks to them to help look after stone construction materials, do not be taken away. In fact, there is no shortage of rocks on the mountain, just to create a look at no one at home. After saying goodbye, my family went home in a small district. First, we ate a real seafood meal, because the end of the world would have no chance. After that, I went to beauty with my mother, saw that there were many new skincare products, buying a few more sets. Anyway, the money until the end of the world is just a flipped paper, must spend it all. After finishing the last bill, we returned home, started the car and prepared to start. In the dark, we drove back to the big mountain, then found a unique K1N to park the car, then midnight walking back home safely. When the door closed, I knew, if nothing was surprising, before the end of the world ended, I would definitely not go out anymore. 3 days left until the end of the world. After breakfast, I started checking my surveillance camera system. There is no one around the house, the only road to the mountain is not available, the entrance to the mountain is also no one. It seems that everyone is preparing to celebrate Tet, no one goes to the mountain. After checking the camera system, I started to review our supplies. In the cave there are 10 barrels of diesel oil and 1 tank, all are sealed very firmly, without any smell. All electrical systems have been fully stored, currently the electricity is still pulled from the bottom mountain up. I had previously charged 2000 electricity, no need to worry before the power outage. The water tank is full, the outside has a thick layer of insulation, the inside also has heating equipment, without worrying about freezing water. It must be known that the winter in the north is very cold, although in recent years is warm winter, it still needs necessary preventive. In the fish pond, my mother raised more than 30 fish, inside there is a circulating system of water, the fish will not die, we also hope that they are reproductive. After checking everything, I connected to the network to see the latest news. I have removed the previous nick, now use the new nick. On the internet is still quiet, filled with the joyful atmosphere of the new year. After watching the news, I went to the treadmill to practice a bit, took out the sword to train a little, the skills to protect my life. 2 days left until the end of the world. Today, some people went to the mountain to walk, but less than half of the mountainside had returned. Mainly because the road has many pebbles, driving is dangerous, walking is tired. Moreover, the ghost house is unfinished on the half of the mountainside is also quite scary. Often the climbers are young people returning home to celebrate Tet, listening to their parents and grandparents saying that, they are no longer interested in the mountains. 1 more day until the end of the world. Today is New Year's Eve, also the day of union members of every family. Today, she also prepared a hearty lunch, chicken, duck, fish, meat, fruit, confectionery filled with the table. But everyone's mood is not happy, because we know this is the last piece. Mom checks the air purifier to see if it is still working. My mother was the first to break the tranquility. The air purifier is placed at the ventilation hole of the kitchen, so it can ensure the smell of food does not fly out. I also bought many deodorant sprays, sprinkled with peppermint seeds, waiting until the spring next year the warm sunshine will become a natural fence. Mom checked back, everything was fine. After finishing meals, each person took a phone to surf the news. I had previously connected the fiber optic cable to the telecommunications company, while installing a signal receiver, so the indoor network speed was quite good. Now sending the message all showing the coordinates, so since coming home safely, we did not post any posts out, at most only answered a few messages in the WeChat group. Now, there is no news on the disaster online, the most discussed topic is the big meteor shower tonight, everyone is praying online. Whoever doubted the beautiful meteor shower brought the virus, this is something that people cannot predict. At 8 p.m., This time is the time of broadcasting TET program, but now the whole network is looking forward to the meteor shower. At 8:30, a trail of light through the sky, followed by the lights flying over, like a virtual dream, beautiful could not use words to describe. The meteor shower lasted nearly half an hour, the whole life was cheering. I doll the room doors, lying beside parents in bed. We all know, the end of the world has come. Dreaming, chaotic, tonight passed so long. To be safe, from today we will start to take turns guarding. None of us talk, obviously telling ourselves to sleep a bit, otherwise we will not stand it, but we all know that even if we close our eyes, the spirit is still tense. How can we sleep? Finally, until 5 a.m. Often, the streets have started to have people, breakfast shops have also been opened. The large number of people also means that the number of infected people has increased rapidly. 5 o'clock, the internet is still peaceful, many people staying up late and not sleeping, still happy. Many live streams at night are still happy to interact with fans. 5:30, many places have started to go out to celebrate TET. There are also live streams on the mountain to compete for the first incense. The solemn temples, the compassionate Buddha statue, the bell echoed online to each house. 6 o'clock, it gradually light, although the state banned the cannon, but some places still sounded the firecrackers. Save me, what the hell is this? When a shrill scream rang out, a monster like the person rushed into the live stream. The live stream screamed with the miserable, the cameras shook strongly. In the live stream room suddenly appeared a strange face, could not be called a face, the parts of the puffy face, the eyes almost fell out. Any skin that can be seen is abnormal red, as if it is about to flow from the skin. The comment line in the live stream room almost covered the screen. I knew that this live stream was more or less evil. JJ, this is what you say is losing your mind. Why is it different from in the movie? It looks like boiled hot water. My mother's face was pale, my father was not better. I am not very clear. Before I went out, it was 10 days after zombie outbreak. At that time, I saw that zombie had blue-gray skin. Maybe it was because I saw little. I really never seen this. It's okay, daughter, don't think, see if there is any other video, taking advantage of without losing your life. Learning more is not harmful. Dad patted my shoulder, also join the search army. In just a few minutes of talking, the online suddenly filled the video about zombie. There is in the beach, in the mountains, on the streets, everywhere has a cry for help. Almost all the posts are accompanied by painful screams and desperate screams. JJ, quickly, the government has issued a notice. At that moment, large applications appeared from the government. Emergency notice. The meteor shower last night was capable of carrying a virus with unknown origin. This virus has the ability to infect very strongly. Hope that people voluntarily stay at home, do not go out, check their accommodation, ensure safety for themselves. If anyone unfortunately infected with the virus, do not let them scratch or bite, quickly see a yoke and waiting for relief from the government. Again, pay attention to your safety, wait for the government's relief. In the previous life, too, the state quickly announced, but I could not live until the relief day. The government's notice is like a strong injection, pulling back the reason of netizens. But there are still the keyboard heroes below constantly cursing, as if others save themselves is obvious. There are always people who do not know what, such people really deserve to become food for zombies. Daughter, if you are uncomfortable, don't watch it. Dad and I will watch the news online, go a little on vacation. That's right, let's take a break. When I was full of bloody indignation, my parents' voice pulled me back to reality. When I regained my spirit, I immediately sweated cold. Why did I think about taking them as a bait for zombies? Obviously I just cursed a few sentences before, but just now I really had the intention of GI. Did I have been assimilated in this apocalypse world? No, I can't be like that, I can't think so. In the end of the world, it is impossible to be too kind, merciful and not living long, but it is impossible to let go of his evil, otherwise it is like zombies. Parents just see, also have to pay attention to the camera, see if anyone goes to the mountain. I found an excuse, went down to the first floor to wash my face. I looked at myself in the mirror, her face pale, unlike usual. How did I look like in my previous life? I don't remember it anymore. Also, my previous life every day I was worried that I did not sleep well, I didn't have time to look at the mirror. Well, I don't think anymore, I think everything is useless, I can't end the end of the world, a weak person like a slug all the time only know how to edit the video, how to save the world. I let my thoughts fly and get used to the manager of the apartment building. Just when the group was statistics, I was convenient to market. Calling the voice is not enough for some people or what to video. Just the first day of the apocalypse has begun to explore, it is not ashamed to be the manager, the mind is very fast. I refused the video, texted in the group to tell me in the countryside, no one. Then I left the group. I don't want to see them fighting each other, after all, I really don't be there, who believes it? As for the management of the manager, not just because I know that I was going to open the supermarket before, being aiming for my items. If you like, just open the door, just need the person to find a package of instant noodles, I give up, until then the dogs bite the dog by themselves. After leaving the group, I watched the family group. My parents were informed of peace, this one didn't need me to worry anymore, then answered a few messages from my friends. Anyway, I have sent them a lot of food on the occasion of Tet, hoping to help them last a few more days, if possible to persevere until the state relief is best. Because on the occasion of Tet, every family has food reserves, especially in rural areas, persevering for a time without a problem. The real difficulty is in the city, because shopping is very convenient, almost they do not have the habit of storing, even if Tet does not buy too much. In my previous life, I also survived 10 days thanks to junk food, I saw too many people going out to look for food but never returned. In the previous life, about 7 days, due to the exhausted food, the number of people out gradually increased. Similarly, the number of zombies has increased daily, and in the end, the ordinary people almost not out of the apartment building has become a part of the zombie army. I have never seen so many people in the city. Doi, Nagwai, Nuoi, Nuoi I heard the sound of firecrackers. Dad, there is a firecracker, who is burning firecrackers? I rushed to the second floor, although the sound was very far away, but the zombie was very sensitive to the sound, if it was attracted to them. I don't know, I don't have it in the camera. Obviously my father also heard, his face was not very good. Dad, I closed the window, I went to the roof to see. Yeah, you are a little careful. The attic is very small, originally built to facilitate the roof, now becomes a safe observatory. There is a telescope on the attic, when we can't use drone, this is our eyes. Because we are in the mountains, there are many fruit trees, the effects of telescopes are not really large. I put the telescope, looked down at the mountain, felt a bunch of white smoke. I adjusted the focal length, which is the small square in the mountains. What are you doing, burning firecrackers to ward off evil spirits? If burning firecrackers works, what is the need for vaccines?